Glad you're streaming with us. Well, a catastrophic highway collapse in Wyoming. It's part of the crucial Teton Pass crumbling in a landslide, leaving tourist hubs like Jackson Hole, Yellowstone, and Grand Teton National Park without a major road now. Our Mola Lenghi joins us. So, Mola, what's the latest this hour?
Well, Kira, that catastrophic landslide destroying part of the Teton Pass, as you mentioned, a major highway and a vital commuter link between Jackson, Wyoming, which, among other things, is a major tourism hub. Again, linking Jackson to small towns throughout the region, not only in Wyoming, but across the border there in Idaho, small towns in Idaho. Aerial images showing how a huge section of that pavement just completely disappearing underneath that collapse. Officials say problems with the road began last week when cracks started appearing in the entire roadway. Then the collapse eventually happening after that major landslide. Now, while there is no major, or I should say no official cause yet for that landslide, it is believed that melting snow was a major contributing factor. Now, fortunately, the road was already closed at the time of the collapse, so there was no traffic and no maintenance or work crews out there either. The highway, of course, now closed indefinitely as the governor has declared a state of emergency and has tapped engineers and geologists to develop a long-term fix for this critical highway. Kira?
All right, Mola, thank you so much. And let's bring in Bob Hammond now. He's a resident engineer at the Wyoming Department of Transportation. Bob, so glad that you could join us as this is happening. I know crews are very busy. They are scrambling to repair the road, or at least try to figure out a workaround. So just tell us what's happening right now. Where do things stand?
Sure. After the catastrophic failure that happened Friday night or Saturday morning, we've been working night and day out there making plans, and currently we have a plan in place. We just announced it here about an hour or two ago to have an interim short-term roadway built. We've designed it there in the field, and I've got a contractor on site right now, and we should have that 2-lane road built within a couple of weeks to get that commuter route open for people.
All right, so we're looking at 2 weeks. So what are you recommending that folks do now? And by the way, just looking at these pictures, I mean, that's just crazy. Let me start with, just as we're looking at these, pictures and the video, it's pretty mind-blowing what happened here. Can you give us any background to the investigation on what happened?
Sure. This has been a slow-moving landslide for decades. It would move very slightly every year, maybe a quarter inch or so. But really something changed in the last few days. And we believe that some groundwater changed its path and how it was going through this area and saturated some native ground that was a red silty clay, silty type thing. And essentially, that native material that was 70 feet down caused this roadway fill to fail.
I mean, are you just astounded that there weren't any major injuries or deaths?
Well, the problem started happening Thursday and was reported to us because there was a motorcycle accident there. He was okay, just minor injuries. But since then, we've been monitoring it, and when it really started to move more rapidly, we had to close the road and make sure everyone was safe.
It's astounding. All right, so as you know, millions of people come there every year. So do you see this impacting tourism as you're working to get this fixed, in the next couple of weeks?
Not so much. Jackson is a tourism community that's just south of Grand Teton National Park and Yellowstone Park. And there are 3 other ways to get into this valley. This is one way. It really impacts the commuters, the people that work in Jackson, Wyoming, who live over in Idaho because it's expensive to live in Jackson. And essentially, the tourism industry should be fine getting people out of all the parks. Everyone can get in. The parks are open.
Sure hope so. Such a beautiful part of the country. Been there a number of times. Bob, thank you so much. Appreciate your time.